Okay, so the last app I want to mention is one that I use intensely for research, and that is Devonthink. Now you may have noticed when I was looking at Scrivener earlier on that I have all these links. Now these links open in an app called Devonthink. I can click any one of these files and immediately opens to the page and paragraph where I highlighted that item. In Devonthink, this is essentially a huge database. In here, in my case, I've put in 114,602 files, and these range from journals and dissertations, magazines, books, tracts, libraries, and so much more. I have all my research files in here, all the books and resources that I have been working with. And this is really helpful because as you're generating a database using your own files, and as you collect files from across the web, it enables you to search them. So just by way of an example here, if I were to go in here and say, I want to search just a particular periodical, let's say the Review and Herald, right? So I'll scroll down to the folder that I have for that, 9,000 files almost here, and then I would put in my search term. I could say, diet and health. And I'm going to say I want the word diet to be within 10 words of the word health, right? I can perform a search on that, and it will search through all 9,000 files just about, and it will come up with a result. Now, most of the time this is a little bit quicker, but the first search after you open it is often a little bit slower. So that was an 11-second search. It gave me results, and when I click on the result, it jumps to the spot in each file. And this is tremendous because I can go through very quickly, and here's a file with 7 results, and I can jump through those results instantly. It's highlighted on the page. I can find where that is that I was looking for. So this is just an immense tool to be able to look and find things. And also I can also tag things. So I can say tags, and I only want, let's say something from 2000, and I can search in that way, and it will only search for magazine articles from the year 2000 where those results occur. Now, fair warning, sometimes it has false positives. What that means is that it will show a file and then you click on it and it doesn't show the full search. This usually only happens if you're doing a proximity-based search, but the real strength here is that you can do so many kinds of what's known as Boolean searches. I'll probably do another separate video on how to do Boolean searches, but essentially where you have multiple criteria that you're trying to merge together. So for example, diet and health, you want both of those to show up somewhere in the document. They don't have to be near each other. There you go, it'll look for that, and immediately you find so much more. So this is really helpful. I use this a lot. I can then copy anything in from here and paste it into my document, and it just works so well. Something I should mention here is that I have a lot of the apps I've mentioned listed not only in my Mac app comparisons, for example, Altair is here. Under Note apps, I have Devonthink. By the way, if you use my link here, it also helps me out just as a referral. I usually don't do referrals, but in the case of Devonthink, that is one of the few apps that if you're going to grab it, use my link if you'd like to support and help out, because that gives me a little bit more influence sometimes with the devs. If I've basically had 100 purchases and I'm referring tons and tons of people, it allows me to be able to say, hey, this is broken here. I have hundreds of people I've referred, and can you fix this? I've sometimes noticed that helps. Devonthink is also not free. It is very generous though. They give you, I think, 180 hours of use for free. So just don't leave the app open, and you can basically use it for quite a while depending on how much research you use and how much you would use it. But I have the pro version, which is $199. Every year around the fall, there's like a back to school promotion that is, I think, 40% off. So you could wait for that. They also have a student discount if you ask. I believe that's 25% or thereabout. So that's a great option there. The standard version is probably good for most people. The major benefit for Pro is it does integrate OCR, which is optical character recognition. So it will, any unscanned let's say you take a picture, of a book or something, right? You have to do text recognition. It will do that for you. Mac does that to some extent when you preview an image, but it doesn't embed it back in the file. Devonthink will do that. It's a little buggy at the moment. I'm hoping they get that fixed. It still works well enough for searching, but if you're wanting to use a tool like Voice Dream Reader, for example, to read your content to you and to read along to it, Devonthink's OCR is not the best here. That's where Acrobat is a little bit better.